Join us tonight to talk about the exciting games is NBA Philippines All-Star Analyst Coach Willy Wilson. Coach, I know you're really excited to make your debut as a volleyball analyst, but let's focus on the NBA first. Let's talk about the Miami Heat and the Bulls first and foremost, because that is an interesting matchup. A lot of people on paper would say like, hey, the Miami Heat are the Miami Heat. They should be getting one over the Chicago Bulls. But season record so far, the Bulls have swept their season series, and they look like they have had the Heat's number all year round. How do you look at this matchup?
Well, I look at it as they're playing in Miami. As you said, 4-0 throughout the season. Can they go 5-0? I mean, that's yet to be seen, but that series is for me trending in favor of the Miami Heat. Why? Again, I talk about they're playing at home, and are we going to see another dud by Jimmy Butler going 6 for 19?
Which is what he had in Atlanta, against Atlanta.
Against Atlanta. I doubt it, And another question, can Kyle Lowry duplicate that shooting performance? I mean, maybe he's trending in the right direction. His first 30-point game as a Miami Heat. His last one was as a Raptor back in February 2021.
And, the question also of whether Bam Adebayo will come up in tomorrow's game, because that's a big one. The Bulls, of course, coming off that comeback victory against the Toronto Raptors. They've been good, at least trending well since the All-Star. I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
It was a comeback.
Number 2 in defensive ratings since the All-Star against Miami. That is 29th in three-point shooting after being number 1 last year. I'm just saying.
Yeah. But again, we're talking about the
one
Bulls.
game.
The one game.
One game.
The Bulls. What type of team are they? Are they a running team? Are they a half-court team?
Okay.
That's still to be determined. I still haven't seen what their identity is.
Okay.
Yeah, you take a look at these two, and you also have to look at the fact that they are two teams in the top 10 in terms of defensive rating. I don't know if it's going to be a case of which defense is stronger or one holds over the other, but you take a look at the way that these two teams play and trying to contain each other. How do you see that part of the game playing out?
Well, when I'm looking at the Heat, why did they lose to the Hawks? They got out-rebounded, especially on the offensive end. Badly. Clint Capella was hitting the glass really hard. Again, Atlanta shoots a lot of threes, but the Bulls don't. Okay, and do the Bulls have an offensive rebounder to the like Clint Capella? They don't. So again, that's another reason for me to throw this series in for the Heat.
Yeah. Interesting. DeMar DeRozan, Jimmy Butler will be battling tomorrow. But the more interesting thing, I think, will be the Minnesota Timberwolves versus the OKC Thunder. A lot of people thought, OKC rebuilding again, tanking, whatever. And then all of a sudden, they're making this run.
Yeah.
And probably are favored against Minnesota with all of the drama that's going because of how SGA has been playing all NBA team. I bet he's going to be this year. Your take, Coach Willy.
Okay, I like how you said that they could be favored, but I think there are some variables that we need to throw in. You talked about the drama with Gobert, Kyle Anderson, the punch on the bench.
And then McDaniels.
And then McDaniels breaking his hand. Right. So those are players that McDaniels definitely out for the season.
Right.
Gobert possibly will play. We've been seeing reports that his back is hurting. But in 2 games in the regular season, that Gobert did play, he averaged 15 and 15. The size of him and Karl Anthony Towns together is going to give problems to the OKC Thunder. They just don't match up well with that size. True. Another thing is, can they control the tempo? The OKC Thunder, they want to run. And we talk about the Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and how he controls the game. Minnesota has Conley, and he's a vet. And he's been in a whole bunch of playoff series.
Yeah, and we also saw what he did to LA to make it an overtime game last time.
Yeah, but that was a bonehead foul.
Speaking of LA!
Speaking of
Anthony
by hook or by crook, the
Lumabas eh.
Lakers.
Whoa, you're making it sound like it's a fluke that they are where they are.
Okay, let's go to the series
yeah.
now. Series naman
Yeah.
tayo, not the
Okay.
one-game thing.
All right.
The Grizzlies and the Lakers. They won the series about the Lakers against the Grizzlies 2-1. Lakers look a lot different right now with their lineup. The fact that LeBron's in the lineup and they're going up against a Memphis Grizzlies team that still has a lot to prove. You take a look at this matchup. I know you're going to be watching every second of this series. How do you like the Lakers' chances and are they actually the favorites here against the Grizzlies for the number 2 seed?
I mean, I like to believe that they are. You know, as long as every game that is played, we get Shannon Sharp on the sideline, providing the drama from
So what?
that-
7 games nasa LA?
he could travel with the team.
Okay.
You know, he gets
kidding.
that pass. But no, I mean, when you look at the lineups. Okay, we have a full strength Lakers who, by the way, had the best record in the West once they acquired D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley,
The new
and
guy.
Jared Vanderbilt.
New
You know, it's a reshaped roster, best record in the West since the roster has been shaped the way it is. Again, you talked about how they've won the series. All right, who guards LeBron? Brooks, I'm assuming, right? Can he guard him for an entire series? The problem for the Grizzlies has been fouling. They're a young, and I put a huge emphasis on young, energetic team, which means that they're going to foul a lot.
That's always been their problem in the playoffs.
Been,
too.
Yes,
they have these fourth quarter
right, and the
meltdowns.
Lakers are the number 1 team in getting to the foul line.
The passion,
Yeah.
Coach Willy.
And the number 1 team in not fouling. So that means that they nullify the running game of the Grizzlies. They win the series.
You sold me the car. Don't worry. You sold me the car. We got to talk about the Clippers, the other LA team.
There.
we-
Do not
yeah,
say
LA
the
team.
name, just say the other LA team.
And the
other LA
Suns,
team.
because that's going to be
Okay.
interesting. Paul George, you need a wing defender against D-Book and KD there. So that's going to be a problem for the Clippers, right? Which you enjoy, I'm sure.
I mean, yeah, okay, but again, I'm not gonna show any bias here.
Like, okay.
And immediately everybody's throwing it the Suns' way.
Okay.
You know, the KD, Booker, Chris Paul. But when you look at the formation of this Clippers lineup, all right, they have somebody to match up with KD, theoretically, with Kawhi, one of the historically best defenders in the league. Booker, they have a bunch of wings that they can throw at him. Bones Highland, Norman, Terrence Mann.
That's why I was hoping Paul George was there. Make
a
it
whole bunch of
interesting,
guys that they can throw at him. And then does the X factor for me, the X factor matchup is CP3 versus Russell Westbrook.
So, in short, you're taking the Clippers in the
No,
series?
never.
Okay.
Never. So
Okay.
that's
Never.
an unbiased pick.
That's an unbiased pick.
I
All right.
just had to ask the question in case people might get confused. Coach Willy, always a good time. Thank you very much for sharing your unbiased thoughts for our NBA play-in and playoffs.
Especially on the Clippers.
Yes.